Hello, welcome to Shmirchik. Quetcher's Corner, the Witches channel. The Zionist Witches channel. Welcome. So, over 40 Iranian drones and, drones target Israel in the morning hours. So it wasn't just missiles, it was drones last night, right? Like at 3 in the morning when I was in the bomb shelter. So, military spokesperson says most attacks were drones intercepted before entering. So there were missiles and drones, it looks like, before entering Israel. They say percentage of successful interceptions high after a residential building in Bet Shean takes a direct hit. Right. So the IDF said on Saturday that the Air Force shot down 40 Iranian attacks. Drones targeted Israel since last night. The Air Force struck drone launchers loaded and ready for use in the area of Isfahan. So the IDF keeps taking down the posts where they launch the launchers. They take down the launchers over and over from Iran. Wow. So IDF footage showing the interceptions of an Iranian attack drone targeting Israel. Wow. It's beautiful. It must be scary to be a soldier involved in this type of thing, but it must be so exciting because they're literally taking out these. They're aiming at a drone moving mid-air, right? It's when you play a video game, but not quite. It's more fun than that. So, in a briefing to reporters, on IDF spokesperson Brigadier General Efi Defrin said Israelis must prepare for prolonged war. There is an existential threat that must be removed, he said, adding that the IDF strikes will continue as long as it takes. So you have here, Iranian attack drone lands in the Arava desert. Wow. And then you have, I'm not sure if you can see, make myself smaller, right? And Defin revealed images showing the IDF strike on the Isfahan nuclear facility that was attacked overnight for the second time. This time targeting a production site for centrifuges. Isfahan, nuclear site under IDF attack. So let's go see that. It's very nice. This is good for the morale of the Jewish people. To see, the might of the God of Israel and the might of the IDF, right? This is Iran. It's a lot of flying, it's close but not so close to Israel. I guess it's not overseas. This is part of the Middle East, so it's a little bit easier to get to. But it looks like the the Air Force is able to just do what it's got to do, and all the credit goes to those little boys and girls flying those pilots flying those aircraft, right? The spokesperson said that Iran launched over 1,000 drones against Israel since the fighting began, and that most were shot down before entering Israeli airspace. He said Israeli defenses have been thwarting drone strikes with a high rate of success. Amazing, right? So here's the damage after an Iranian attack drone hits a home in Bet Shean on Saturday. Earlier, an Iranian drone. So this is the fact that it hit a home and nobody died, right, or got injured. That's a miracle, especially since Israel's so tiny and because we're in such a concentrated area, right, it's more likely that more people could get killed. But the God of Israel, one invisible God of Israel, neither slumbers nor sleeps, and woe to the destroyers of Israel, right? So earlier, an Iranian drone hit a residential building in Bet Shean, causing a fire to break out, but no injuries. That's another miracle. We live off of miracles, which is amazing. Listen, I'm not going to say that, of course, there's going to be some of us are going to die, including me, maybe. I don't know. You never know who's going to get hit. It's all up to God, the Lord of the universe, God Almighty, King of the Jews. Right? And so, the one invisible God of Israel, he's the one that decides who goes and who doesn't. So, nobody is immortal. Right? Anyway, so that's the report that we read, right? And so I thought just to share that with you guys, right? And so Am Yisrael Chai, right? Like, hope for the Jewish people, hope for the world, and soon we will liberate the Iranian people who don't deserve what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are not Islamists, a lot of them. You know, I was actually watching a few documentaries on how in 1979, how the Iranian regime, the current regime, took a hold of the people, and how the people themselves, they wanted a change, so they got rid of the Shah. And so then when I was watching that, and I was like watching how like the entire Iran was in on it, right? And they're the ones who wanted this revolution, and they're the ones who put the former the former guy who was in charge, right? Another Khomeini. So they put him, the guy who was before Ali, whatever his name is, Khomeini, the guy that's sitting there now. There's a guy before him. I'm not sure if it was his father or somebody else, right? And the guy before him, the people loved, right? And he's the one that, you know, so he was like in power for, I don't know, 10 years, and then so the people wanted him in power, right? And so then I think to myself, like, they got what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, later on, they started to regret it because they started to realize their mistake. But they wanted a more religious, at the time, they wanted a more religious, state, right? And then, right, so I was thinking to myself, like, okay, the people spoke. That's what they wanted. And then I was watching how the guy, he died, right? The first Iranian regime leader, the tyrant. So after he died, the people went crazy, and they were crying, and they were mourning, and they were weeping. And when they tried to bury the guy, he came on a helicopter, right? They put him on a helicopter. The Iranians, they put him in a helicopter with the dead body of the leader, and they tried to land, and before then people were like getting trampled, and they were trying to land the helicopter, and the helicopter, they landed on people, and people died, and then they were trying to get the coffin of their great leader out of the helicopter, and they were crazy. It was like a frenzy, and then they all grabbed onto the coffin to try to get a hold of his body, to, like, I don't know, bow down to it, kiss it, I don't know. And then his body fell out of the casket. Yeah. The guy's body fell out of the casket, and they were trying to all grab it and get a hold of it. And I'm like, oh my god, these people are sick, you know? Like, okay, they might adore their freaky chief, their freaky leader, they might adore, but, like, do they not have any respect for the dead? Is there no respect in... They loved him so much, but yet they're willing to, like, grab hold of his body to get pieces of his shrouds, and, like, where's the respect? Why are you grabbing his body out of the casket? Let the dead rest, right? But this is Islam. And then finally they got his body back into the helicopter, but half his body was hanging out as they were flying away. And then they tried to come down again with the helicopter, and then they tried to come again with the helicopter, and they finally buried him, and they put, like, around his casket, they built big walls because the people were trying to they were trying to dig him up. The Iranian people were trying to dig up the guy's body, the leader, because they loved him so much. Like, this is crazy people, like, fanatics. And then the other leader came, and then it's history. That's history as we know it, right? And so that's history as we know it. And now I think they learned a hard lesson. The people of Iran, they learned a hard lesson that no, they don't want a religious state, and they want to be free again, just like the Shah was trying to progress the people and put women in high positions and all that, you know, like, they decided they want to be free, and now it's time to liberate them, just like they helped us, their great leader, Cyrus the Great, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, 2,000, 3,000, I don't know, they helped us rebuild the second temple, right, and they liberated us after the first temple was destroyed and we were taken into slavery and stuff. Now it's our time, so they say, to liberate the Iranian people. So it's all very exciting, right, and let's just hope and pray that this war ends very soon, and that, you know, condolences to all the families that were killed during this war. The war in Gaza, October 7, and the war now with the rockets hitting and everything. And yeah, right? I covered up my nose with, what do you call that? Cover up, because I have pimples. Anyway, feel free to subscribe or not subscribe. Feel free to like, not to like. Feel free to comment. And have a great day, my friends. Okay? Okay, bye.